how much we send to the Philippines.
You know, sending 40,000 pesos at a time and then being like, oh my God, like, did you get it? Whatever.
Hi guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, Filipina-Australian family. Again, I am Ella and this is Scott. So for today's video, we will talk about send money in the Philippines.
Sounds good. Well, nice and easy.
You start.
Just who out there has sent money to the Philippines before? I have. Have you? Yes. But let's go through the different ways. So what are the ones that we know of? How do you send money to the Philippines?
So before we send money to the Philippines through...
The first one was always from GCash.
Yeah, always GCash. That's before when I still have that SIM card of the Philippines. But when they block it and deactivate my SIM card, we found out that we can send through Western Union, right?
Right. So that's one thing for foreigners to be able to do is take your own bank account and then send it to the Philippines world that they can access. So GCash is just something they can access from the local store even?
Yeah.
Like maybe describe that. How you're not going to go to a bank
No.
to withdraw. So how do you get the GCash on your side?
So like, let's just say I have GCash and the person that I'm gonna send to is they have GCash. I'll send it to them. And then on that side, they will go to a local store and then they will transfer the money. And then once the local store get the money, they will exchange it into cash.
Okay, and there's a small service fee on their side?
Yeah,
so,
I think 15 pesos per 1,000.
So it's pretty much negligible, but you know, if you're transferring like from, what I would do is from Western Union to a GCash, or I think they call it like a mobile wallet.
Mobile wallet,
There's a couple other providers, I think.
Paymaya, PayPal.
Okay, so there's a couple of different options. GCash is owned by Globe. So if you know Globe Telecom in the Philippines, it's a big telecom company. So it's definitely like established.
Yeah.
And then Paymaya, I think, is owned also by a bank.
Yeah, but Paymaya and PayPal is the mobile wallet, which is like really hard to access the money.
So it's just not supported. So at the moment, GCash has been active for many years, let's say 5+ years. And so now it's becoming very common to have like cash out.
But GCash, you know, they have like a little bit like issue.
So let's talk about this, guys. Is something that you might want to know about. It's not always working, and it'll get a reject notice. So when we did a money transfer just last week with Western Union, we got you tried it on your own.
Yeah,
and what did it say?
They cancel and they refunded the money.
But they didn't explain why, and there's no reason. So then you have to say, well, I sent the money. Did you not receive it?
And then my sister said because she went to the local store who has GCash, it's already full, which is like, you know, the GCash has like maximum amount.
So it's kind of unusual, right?
100,000 pesos.
So that explains how those accounts work. It's kind of like micro accounts. You can't keep millions of pesos in there, it sounds like. So there's sort of a maximum balance. And if you're a local sari store, you're going to keep some balance in there. Maybe you're taking payments. So it's just kind of, with the money transfer, it's good to be communicating, right? So make sure someone's waiting for the money. If it doesn't go through, if it's urgent, then they can like say, hey, it didn't go through.
Yeah.
But overall...
But they refunded the money. It's automatic refunded.
Yeah.
So it will go back on your account in 24 hours.
Yeah. So don't panic, guys. It's a little bit... But you want to be testing with smaller amounts. I wouldn't try to be, you know, sending 40,000 pesos at a time and then being like, oh my God, like, did you get it? Whatever. Just try sending like 1,000 pesos or 2,000 pesos. And then see that it goes through. I'll also say that if you're using Western Union, it's good to warm up that account because they're going to want to know what kind of money's flowing through. If you get what I'm saying, it's got to be for legitimate purposes. Anytime you transfer money, they're going to ask you, is it for family expenses?
Yeah, what is the purpose of this money?
And to be honest, it doesn't really make a difference that I could see. Like you could put it's for products and services. You could put it for travel expenses. You could put it for lots of different things. Nothing was ever red flagged for me, so I've used it.
So the question is how much we send to the Philippines every month.
So for us to send, it's pretty much knowing what their family expenses are, and you've worked that out.
Yeah, so Scott and I like talk about that before, that we're going to send in the Philippines like 10,000 every month, right?
Yeah.
So it's like $200.
And a lot of that's based on, because you know you live there, so you know what the expenses are. So here's the trick, is I've been there too, so I also know what the expenses are. So there's no, things cost this, or, you know, a little bit of a high estimate.
Yeah. but they never ask to us that, oh, I want to buy something from this and that, right?
Yeah.
So they never ask for that. It's just always about like food and expenses at home.
Right. So it's whatever the amount is, it's sort of like a gesture. Even if, like, I don't know, even if they had lots of money overflowing, maybe it still makes sense to contribute because you're kind of like sharing your progress, right? So as you're the one that's in the foreign country, you're the one that has access to more earning potential. So of course you're gonna do what you can to make their lives more comfortable.
Beside from that 10,000, sometimes I help my siblings about that school, you know, if they have projects like that. Yeah, like we send 10,000 to the Philippines, but we know that that's not the amount for 1 month, right? It's just like a little bit help, so it can be like help for that expenses for the month.
So even like working that out, I don't know about your family or other families, but I think the sense of budgeting, like it's not like, well, they just get as much as they can for earning, and then you've got your expenses, and then somewhere in the middle you have maybe some savings over time. But it's not like, it sounds like it's almost break even, right? You earn and you spend. So that's kind of the reality, right? Even like your neighbors and things. Do you find that people have, are they generating a lot of savings, or is it kind of like week to week?
I think mostly in the Philippines that like having family, I experience is like they earn, they spend for food, so they work so they can have a food.
Yeah.
So like savings, like putting on that savings, I think they don't do it because like they really need money.
Yeah. So that's just the reality of it. Like, and a lot of the case in Australia or in Western countries is like that. People are like, they say paycheck to paycheck. So you earn and you have just enough to pay your rent, your food, electric, and utilities, whatever. And you got a child, that's even more expense. Clothing,
like kids,
shoes,
studying.
right? So,
and like expense in the Philippines, like foods are getting expensive, especially the rice.
Yeah.
Sack of rice is 2,700 now. Before it's just like 1,500.
So what you want to watch out for is any like bad habits. Like suppose we were like giving money every month, and then we find out like, oh, we had a big family fiesta, and like there was lots of alcohol, and it's like that should be like a. For me, I would feel like red flag. I'd be like, hold on here, we're not here to finance someone's bad lifestyle. If it's healthy, like good nutrition and.
Me, I do that the same. Like if I find out like, oh, you're spending the money for this, like, but it makes me upset. They never spend for like bad habit. They just like spend for. Sometimes they buy rice, 1 sack of rice, and like some of stock for grocery.
Yeah.
But the rice at home, it just takes 2 weeks. The 1 sack of rice.
But the person who's responsible for the money, you, in this country, you determine how much. And if you see that the money is being used wisely, then you feel good. But maybe if you feel like the money was not spent wisely, or you spend and then they come back maybe like 1 week later and be like, oh, can we have like, again, the same amount? It's like, hold on, I just gave you some.
Yeah,
why is it gone already?
Once I spend the amount that we talk, like that, 10,000, I think they never ask again. But only that my siblings, like my brothers, like for projects like that, sometimes I send $20, which is like it's 1,000 pesos.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff, guys, we're talking about not just sending it for adults to support, but you got brothers and sisters. Imagine like an allowance, right? Did you guys ever have an allowance when you were kids? Personally, I never did, and I always found that quite limiting. Like you just don't have even $5, but if in one sense, maybe they're motivated to earn their own, but. Yeah, like again, it's nice for you to be the eldest to say, hey, let's for your projects, like you said.
Actually, allowance for student, like for high school in the Philippines, I think it's like $6. That's for 1 week. So like sometimes, okay, this is 250 pesos, like that. That's for 1 week, and I already divided how much you're gonna spend for the day. And I said, if you spend that for 3 days, I will tell to my mom that they will never give you because like I help you to. Handle the money. So if you spend it and you don't have money, don't ever come back, and I will tell to my mom that they will never give you money because you will never learn.
So you can see already the budgeting around this. It's like, and you're teaching people to manage money if they're not used to managing. All of a sudden they can rely on a certain amount, make it last. So it's not like you're out of control. You've got control. I've got control. Together we have control, and they are learning to work together. I think it's a good story instead of you not being there. I think you worked at home and you also contributed, so it's just like now you have a little bit more to give.
And then it makes me also happy if like my brother and sisters like studying well, because like, oh, how's the school? Like, oh, I got the awards like that. I am one of the achievers. Okay, it makes me happy. Like at least those money that I send for like allowance, they study well, and that's a nice, right?
Yeah.
Even it's $250 per week.
Okay, so that's basically the content of this video. I think nice and short. What we can do is just maybe cover off on how we can send money different ways. So we already covered GCash. So when I sent money initially, it was because I had a GCash account, and it's very easy, GCash to GCash. But again, you need a Philippines phone number to be able to use that.
You can't use
service.
GCash using Western SIM card.
And even if you're outside the country, you got to watch out, because if you lose access to that phone number that you created the account with, then it's going to be tricky to get access. Actually, you won't be able to get access until you get another Philippines number, and it's a little sketchy, guys. So I'd be nervous about keeping any balance there. It's sort of like transfer in, transfer out. If you lose your GCash account, that's life. So don't keep any money in there.
But there are ways to keep your SIM cards running even you're outside of the Philippines. What you did, right?
Yeah, so I managed to keep my SIM card by keeping a minimum balance, but you never know. They change the rules all the time. And so, time goes by and all of a sudden you forget, and it's like, oh my God. So it's like the what if, guys. Things like, do you have your OTP password?
Yeah.
There's all this authentication now with security, and it's very easy for you to lock yourself out of your own
Even
account.
like your own like bank account.
Right. So let's cover off on the next one. So we got GCash number 1, way up there at the top. Western Union. All right. And maybe give me a different marker. Western Union is just a way to transfer into certain accounts. It's just a money transfer service. I've never used other ones, such as Remitly.
Remitly, it's a bit hard to use it.
Okay,
they don't have, I think, mobile wallet.
Okay, so never used it. Again, please comment if you've used one of these. They're all the time advertising on YouTube, so they must be spending big time. They're trying to grow, so I don't know if that's a good sign or not. But
yeah, I tried Remitly, but I can't find the mobile wallet.
Okay, you got Wise. Again, never used it. These are ones we hear about. I'm sure there's a lot of other ones. So just imagine there's money transfer services, lots of them.
Yeah.
Rocket Remit, blah, 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 all these other ones.
PayPal.
Okay, so PayPal.
PayPal is a bit tricky to use it. As in, very hard.
So PayPal is, obviously, they have fees depending on the transfer, and you got to explain. But again, you got to understand, a Philippines PayPal account is different from like a Western PayPal account. You set up with a certain currency, your certain ID, authentication. So it's just altogether a pain in the butt.
Yeah, actually I have like balance in my PayPal, because if it's like USD, so I can send it to Philippines because like it's USD and I'm trying to exchange the rates. They didn't let me because there's something a lot like process.
Yeah, come a bit closer. So all that to say, guys, if you're going to send money, you want it to be quick and easy for the person to receive it. You might be generous in sending, but guess what? If they can't receive it, then it's frustrating and annoying.
For me, the best way for them is like Western Union.
Okay, so that's the Western Union. The advantage there is they have physical locations. So if you wanted to, you could actually send the money and they could pick it up at a Western Union branch. So that gives a tick, because you don't need, as long as you can, you can access it as long as you can go there.
If the Western Union is a bit far away from your home, it could be like Western Union is the sender and the receiver will be the GCash mobile wallet.
Exactly. So the mobile wallet is a big bonus. Most people would have a GCash, at least one in the family. The other one is related to Western Union. I think it's called Cebuana.
Oh, I know Cebuana. I had that Cebuana before.
Okay, so it's the same thing as Western Union. They have a retail shop where the money can be received. I'm not sure how you get money into Cebuana.
Let's say you send money to me.
Yeah.
And then you will give me the tracking number.
Yeah.
And then who is the sender. And I will do the same, like, okay, I will claim the money in Cebuana, and they have that paper.
Yeah.
You will put who's the receiver and who's the sender, and which country you are from, how much, and then there is no deduction.
Okay, so that's a good one. It's again long time established. If you aren't familiar with it, look it up. It's a little bit tricky to spell. Cebuana, it's like Cebu, like Cebu.
And Uana, UANNA.
Yeah, and you can just Google it and find out. I'm pretty sure they have like a website where you'd actually do a transfer.
And I actually have that Cebuana card.
Okay, so again, really well established. You could probably put your bank transfer direct, but again, we're gonna stick to what we know and our experience. So, PayPal, it's just hard to retrieve. If you send them money, how are they gonna get the money into their own pocket? You know, it might be in an account somewhere, but they've got to be able to get it out. So the only way you can get it out really is by your mobile wallet at a local shop.
Like any local shop has GCash. If you don't have GCash, you get that number from local store, and then the sender will send the money, and you can go there.
Yeah. Okay. And the last probably one we can cover is like bank to bank. Bank to bank.
Bank to bank, but not all have banks.
Yeah. So not every Filipina or Philippine family has a bank account. You know, like, when you grow up, does your family have like a bank account?
No,
going
it's
to the
always
ATM?
cash.
So imagine like totally cash life, and a lot of people, you know, there's advantages to that as well. But yeah, anyway, so if I have a bank account, I want to be able to transfer it somewhere. If you had a bank account, I could transfer it directly.
But it's really hard also to, not really hard, but it's a bit like I have to go to the bank place like where they have ATM.
Yeah.
And to just get money. I prefer to have like GCash, and I can go to a local store which is very nearest at home.
Yeah, so you can do it if they have a bank account. There's nothing wrong with it. What we did is made sure Ella had a bank account. She was probably the first in her family to get it. No big deal. What did you need? Some like ID and a little bit proof of income.
Yeah.
So those two things. Now, guys, if you don't have proof of income, maybe just message us because we can talk a little bit more about that. But you know, you had your job, you had income. It's all fine, normal. It's not like they just have a certain set of requirements, and some banks more than others. Some banks need lots of details. Yours was PNB, and PNB. It was nice. Thumbs up.
And
nice
actually,
and easy.
PNB, it's a bit like, have so many questions like that. How much is your salary? How much your money per month? And what is your job?
Well, we can do banking in a different video.
Yeah.
But it is good because she's got a bank account there that helps me, because as a family, we now have a bank. So if I need to move some money in, we can look at that. I'm married. We're married, so I can get put on the account, access to the money equally, and so on. And then ultimately, though, bank to bank money, and you can then get it from ATMs.
Yeah.
So bank to bank, and then you can get money from any ATM.
Yeah, if you are
nearby.
Yeah, but all those ATM is from like city, and you have to travel for, I think, 1 hour.
Well, she's from the province, so you're not going to have ATM on every block. There's no 7-Eleven just around.
Like, but you have to travel for more than 30 minutes just to get that ATM. That's why I am happy that they have GCash. GCash is like easy way to get money.
So that's where it is. That's where the big, I guess, benefit, the change. Before, province was quite isolated, but now you can access things like that. So if you want to send support, that's kind of how we would do it. I don't think we have anything else to add.
I think that's the...
What about if your Filipino wants to send you money? Huh? How are you going to send money?
Maybe through bank.
What happens if the Filipino family wants to send Ella some Christmas gifts or something like that?
Well, you mean like gift card?
Yeah, like if they wanted to sort of send money to... We haven't tried that yet.
Yeah.
Philippines to Western country. The only thing I could say is bank to bank again. You know, because you've got a Philippine bank account.
Actually, I watch a lot of like Filipino who send like a gift to their foreigner. It's a bit like expensive. It's like the gift that you're gonna, let's say physical gift, like you're gonna send a gift to your partner, which is the shipping fee is more than expensive that the cost of what the item. For
sure. So again, different video talking about shipping things, but digital stuff, transfer. Yeah, I guess the idea would be that I think it's easy to transfer. Again, from GCash, you've got a lot of options. So we can probably at some point show the GCash app and what you can and can't do. But I'm pretty sure once you have GCash balance, like if you had a balance there, you could send that to me to PayPal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that GCash can send money to PayPal.
Yeah.
That's what I love in GCash also. How about like...
So there you go. That's the big trend. The Filipinas are going to be just supporting their foreigners.
How about like Western? Like I use the Western and send it to you. Is it gonna work?
Yeah, and you can send Western Union as well. So it works in reverse. So that's it, guys. It's not all one-sided. You got a wave of up and coming. You never know what's happening there. And but I guess if they wanted to send, imagine you're there and you've got your kids in Australia, and you want to send money to your kids studying. How are they doing that? Right?
Yeah.
So they got to be ways for the parents to support their kids, right?
So how about you guys? Of course, like if you are a foreigner who married a Filipina and live in abroad, how you send money to her family, or have you ever sent? And if you did, how much and what kind of like money transfer? What is the best way for you to send money to the Philippines?
Yeah, I guess one final point people might raise is the rates. So it's the rates.
They should look that. You should look that before you send.
Okay, that's where the money is made, right? So anytime we transfer to GCash, there's a certain rate that you're going to get, and Australian to Philippines conversion. You just got to understand what that is. It's just a cost. So even though there might be a really low transfer fee, like I think Western Union charges like $1 to do that, which is pretty much nothing. But I think they make a lot or a little bit on the exchange. But so that's where you'd shop around, check around what you're comfortable with. Whether you're transferring $1 or $1,000, the rate is probably where they're going to make most of their money.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe wrap up.
Yes.
Thanks for joining. We got lots of stuff to talk about, obviously, across a range of topics: finance, travel, relationship stuff, lots of relationship stuff, just like, meeting online, good vibes, where to get the best coffee, all
In
that
the
good
world.
stuff. Good, guys.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Yeah.